Good morning. Look, no coffee. I decided to make myself some fruits and veggies. So what's in here is 2 ripe cold bananas, an apple, a gala apple, 2 teaspoons of that Super Boost that came with the NutriBullet. And instead of using water, I had some fresh squeezed orange juice in the fridge, so I added that to the fill line and a couple of pieces of small carrot. So it's pretty tasty so far. Can't taste the carrot. I probably should have pureed it just a little longer so I could dissolve the seeds, because that's a little bit to the tooth. But I am going to drink this and then make a liter of seltzer so I can keep hydrated today. I know I was not hydrated enough yesterday because I was sporting a headache, and that's one sign of it. So I'm going to plan out my day, see what I need to get done inside the house versus outside the house, see if I have any errands that I need to run. I've already been out to see the girls. I had a really early AM meeting this morning with offshore, so I've been out for quite some time. There was 1 brown egg already. I've fed the girls, gave them a treat outside, added some more shavings to the chicks container, and gave them fresh water. I think I need to give them food probably in a little bit. Dogs have been fed and watered, and cats been fed, so all the animals are taken care of, so I'm going to take care of myself now. So I'll be back in a little bit, probably with my to-do list for today, and tell you how it was to get all of this consumed and whether it filled me up. I love it. Meatless Monday retweeted my tweet about last night's dinner for naked pasta. That always makes me feel good. So, yeah. And it's up to 60 now. I see, and I'm researching URAD, URAD. And my flowers are up there. So I picked up the bag of the little black beans, the tiny little URAD beans. It's actually, from what I'm finding, it's URAD dal. It's black lentils that are not split. So I'm going to see if I can find some recipes of where to add them to. So I think tonight we're going to have the salmon with some rice and veggies. A mixture like a rice pilaf. Although pilaf technically has pasta in it. Let me see. Let me find the definition of pilaf. Not out of a box. Well, partially out of a box. Rice out of a box. On a bit of a serious note, I wanted to address a couple of things that have been bothering me that I haven't talked about, and I'm not sure whether anyone was curious or not, but many of you know that I was born and raised in Odessa, Ukraine, which is now Ukraine, was former Soviet Union, was Soviet Union, then it became its own country of Ukraine, and there's a lot of turmoil going on there right now. I just pulled up a site that shows you some images of Ukraine. It's a seaport city on the Black Sea, about 3 million people population. That's where I was born. That's where I lived the first 10.5 years of my life before we came to the United States. And I am completely and utterly shocked that anything of this magnitude is going on in this civilized, cultured, old world city. I can't even moments wrap my brain around the fact that it is on the brink of civil war because of what's going on with Russia. I'm not a politician. I didn't study poli-sci in college. I just know what my heart feels, and I'm stunned. I'm surprised. I can't believe that there have been deaths from demonstrations and the fire the other day. This is real life. It's not just TV, and it shouldn't feel any differently than anything else that's going on in the world that is traumatic in the Middle East and Africa and anywhere. But it hits home for me because this was my home. This is where I grew up. Grant you, this is not the way I remember it because 35 years have passed. But yeah, it's shocking. It is shocking that in 2014, we have yet to learn as a society, as a human race, that fighting does not resolve anything long term. Talking, communicating, compromising. I don't really know what is on Putin's mind, why this is suddenly happening now. It's just, it's baffling. It's baffling, it's disturbing. It's like as if all of a sudden Texas and Florida decided to fight with each other. Why? Actually, not a good example because they do actually share a border. But like Texas and Oklahoma. Why? What would be so traumatizing? So it's very, very disturbing to me. Interestingly, my family and I haven't really talked about this. I'm sure my parents have friends who are still there, many of whom have already come to the States in all these, decades, but we have extended family, I'm sure, still there. My grandmother was buried there, shortly before we left the country. It's very difficult to see it on the news and know that it's not something removed from you personally. And because this hits me very personally, I have not been back since I was a child. I had always talked about going there and bringing my husband to show him where I grew up, but we haven't, and for obvious reasons, there's no plans to travel there now. I hope that they come to a civil resolution without any more life loss, without any more damage, without any more trauma to families. There's a couple of people that I follow on Facebook who still live there, and they've posted some very disturbing messages about, not being able to leave their homes, not being able to leave their apartments, not knowing whether they can get food or whether they should send their kids to school. It's just very dramatic. And when you sit down and think about it, what would happen if tomorrow each and every one of us woke up and found that our home wasn't safe anymore? That we couldn't leave our home, or we couldn't stay in our home, or we didn't know where to find safety. It's very, very unnerving to think that that's what the populace of that area is going through right now. And again, not to make light of any other traumatic events going on around the world, because there is always something going on somewhere, and there have been civil wars, played out in countries for decades. You never really think it's going to hit that close to your history, to your home. So although I haven't been in Odessa or to Odessa in several decades, I still feel that that's where my heart's from. That's where I was born. That's where I learned to speak Russian. And no, I don't speak Ukrainian. I don't understand Ukrainian. I was born at a time where, Soviet Union was the strong country, and everyone learned Russian first, and then the dialect of their region. I didn't stay in school long enough in the country to learn Ukrainian, so I only know how to speak Russian, and I understand Russian. I could probably understand about 60% of Ukrainian, but there are some words that are completely over my head. So that, I just wanted to address that, since I haven't said anything about this since this situation has come to light, and it's on the news. And I had someone actually at work message me to ask me if I had any family members in Odessa, because she recalled that that's where I was from, because she's also Russian. See, that's the other thing. I've always associated myself as being Russian, but technically I'm Ukrainian, because where I was born is now not a state, but an entire country. So, yeah, it's complex. life is ever fluid, and I hope that it finds its level, that people come to their senses on both sides and find a way to reach a logical compromise without any more life loss. He walked away from me because I didn't want to play. There's Mosey and Mushy. It got quiet because our neighbors are back, finished mowing their lawn. And I think ours will be done either tomorrow or Thursday. Looking forward to that. I'll have to move a couple of things before tomorrow. Chester's butt looks like a monkey. It's a patch of fur missing. He rubbed it off, ate it off. At least it's not raw anymore. I don't know what he's looking for. But there's Moses. Look at that one. Plop down. I could easily take a nap out here. And sounds of spring. It's gorgeous. So I just made dinner, and that is Goya yellow rice with peas and roasted red pepper, just a tiny little bit. I love the color, it's so bright and vivid. And then we also have a salmon, which is pan-seared. And here's my little trick for today. I had a splatter screen on because when you're frying fish at high temperatures, or anything at high temperatures, things have a tendency to splatter. So I use a splatter screen, and then I also used it to catch all the seeds when I squeezed the lemon over it. One tool, two jobs. Really easy. Now, just one thing to clean up. So there's the salmon. I know it doesn't look as pretty, but I'm sure it's going to be quite tasty. That's 2 portions. I'm going to divide it down the middle and take the skin off of Polly's because he doesn't like the skin, and I love it. So I'll put a scoop of rice in the bowl and then the salmon over it, and Polly should be home any minute now, so we're gonna eat dinner, and that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you so much for stopping by and keeping me company. Don't forget to thumbs up, it's free for you and it helps me out. Now we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching, everyone.